How to go from zero to fluent in English. A simple 5-step plan for non-native speakers. Hey there, welcome to your English learning journey. Whether you're just starting or you've been learning for a while and want to level up, this guide is going to help you. We're going to break down everything into 5 easy steps that'll take you from beginner to fluent in no time. If you're serious about becoming fluent in English, this guide will show you the exact path to take. I know, learning a new language can seem overwhelming sometimes, but don't worry. With the right strategy and mindset, it's totally doable. The best part? You don't need fancy courses, expensive tutors, or endless grammar books. What you really need is a solid plan, some practice, and a willingness to try. By following these 5 steps, you'll be well on your way to fluency. So, whether you want to get better for work, travel, or just for fun, I got you covered. Let's dive right in and get started. Step 1. Master the basics with survival English. When you're starting from scratch, the first thing you need to get down is something called survival English. Don't worry, it's not as scary as it sounds. It's actually pretty simple. Survival English is the essential everyday vocabulary and phrases you need to get by in an English-speaking country. It's not about being perfect. It's about being able to communicate the basics like asking for directions, ordering food, or introducing yourself. Imagine this. You're in a new city, and you need to find food. Instead of stressing over how to form a perfect sentence, you just say, food, restaurant, boom. People understand what you need. That's the magic of survival English. You don't need to know all the grammar rules or have a perfect accent. You just need the right words to get by. Why is survival English important? It's important because it gives you the confidence to start speaking from day one. A lot of learners feel shy or scared because they don't think their English is good enough. But here's the thing. Most native speakers aren't going to judge you for using simple words. In fact, they'll probably appreciate the effort you're making to communicate. Survival English is all about being understood, and that's a great first step. How to learn survival English. Start with common phrases and words you'd use in real life, like, where is the bathroom? How much is this? Help please. Once you've got a good handle on those basics, start practicing them in real-life situations. Don't worry about making mistakes. Just focus on getting your point across. Step 2. Start speaking from day one. Seriously. Okay, now that you've got some basic vocabulary, it's time for step 2. Start speaking. And when I say start speaking, I mean right now, from day one. The biggest mistake English learners make is waiting too long to start speaking. They think they need to memorize a bunch of vocabulary or study grammar for months before they open their mouth. But here's the truth. If you want to speak fluent English, you have to start speaking as soon as possible. It doesn't matter if your sentences aren't perfect. The key is to practice. Let me put it this way. Speaking is like any other skill. If you want to get good at it, you need to practice regularly. Imagine trying to learn to play the guitar by only reading about it without ever touching an instrument. Sounds silly, right? The same goes for learning a language. You can't just read books or watch videos and expect to become fluent. You've got to start speaking. Why speaking from day one is important. The longer you wait to start speaking, the harder it gets. Trust me on this one. The more you delay, the more nervous or hesitant you'll feel. But if you push yourself to speak early on, even if it's just a few words here and there, you'll build confidence. And confidence is key to fluency. How to start speaking right away. It doesn't have to be anything formal. Start small. Talk to yourself in English while doing everyday tasks. Practice with a friend who is also learning. Join online language groups or find a language partner. The goal is to get used to speaking English out loud, even if it's just simple phrases at first. The more you speak, the more comfortable you'll become. Over time, you'll find yourself speaking more naturally and confidently. Step 3. Feed your brain with good English input. Now, let's move on to step 3, which is all about getting good English input. What does that mean? Simply put, it means surrounding yourself with as much English as possible, whether through listening or reading. This is one of the most important parts of becoming fluent. If you think about it, this is how we all learned our native languages. When we were kids, we listened to our parents and the people around us, picked up words, phrases, and eventually started speaking. Learning English is no different. The more you hear and see the language, the faster you'll pick it up. Why input is important. Good input is like fuel for your brain. The more you listen to English, the more your brain starts to recognize patterns, sentence structures, and pronunciation. You might not even realize it, but as you listen, you're picking up tons of information that'll help you when you start speaking. How to get good input. Here's the fun part. You don't have to sit through boring lessons to get good input. There are so many cool ways to immerse yourself in English. Watch English movies, TV shows, or YouTube videos. Listen to English podcasts or music. Read articles, blogs, or books in English. The key here is to pick stuff you actually enjoy. If you like movies, watch movies. If you love music, listen to songs with English lyrics. The more fun you have with it, the easier it'll be to stick with it. Plus, you'll pick up on how native speakers talk, which is a huge plus. Step 4. Practice, practice, practice. Speaking fluency takes time. Alright, let's talk about step 4. Practice. If you want to speak English fluently, there's no way around it. You have to practice speaking regularly. But here's the thing. It's not just about practicing a lot. It's about practicing the right way. Sometimes, learners get stuck because they practice the same phrases or conversations over and over without any real progress. This happens because they're not challenging themselves. To get better, you need to push yourself out of your comfort zone. Why practicing the right way is important. When you're learning a language, repetition is important, but so is variety. You don't want to just memorize a few sentences and call it a day. You need to actively engage with the language in different ways. Try new conversations, use new vocabulary, and challenge yourself with new topics. How to practice the right way. Here are a few ways to make sure your practice sessions are effective. Use real-life situations. Instead of just practicing random phrases, try using English in real conversations. Whether you're asking for directions, ordering food, or chatting with friends online, real-world practice is the best way to improve. Try different techniques. Mix it up. Use the mirror talk technique, where you practice speaking in front of a mirror. Or try shadowing, where you repeat what native speakers say as you listen. This helps you mimic their pronunciation and rhythm. Get feedback. Don't be afraid to ask for feedback from friends, teachers, or even language exchange partners. Constructive criticism can help you improve faster. Step 5. Learn basic grammar, but don't get stuck on it. Now, let's talk about Step 5, basic grammar. I know, grammar isn't the most exciting thing in the world. But trust me, learning the basics is going to help you speak more confidently. That being said, you don't need to become a grammar expert. There's a difference between learning useful grammar and getting stuck in a grammar rabbit hole. Some learners spend way too much time trying to master every single grammar rule before they even start speaking. Don't be that person. You don't need to know everything to be fluent. In fact, most native speakers don't use perfect grammar in everyday conversations. What you need is a basic understanding of how sentences are structured so you can communicate more clearly. Why basic grammar is important. Knowing basic grammar will help you avoid common mistakes and give you more confidence when speaking. It'll also help you sound more natural. For example, understanding when to use do versus does or did will make your sentences flow better. How to learn basic grammar. Don't stress about learning everything at once. Focus on the most common grammar points. How to form questions. Who, what, where, when, why, how. Present, past, and future tenses. Simple sentence structures. Start with these basics, and as you get more comfortable, you can build on that knowledge. And remember, you don't need to be perfect. As long as people can understand you, you're doing great. Bonus step. Focus on all 4 skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Okay, I've got one last bonus step for you. Focus on all 4 skills. These are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. A lot of learners tend to focus only on speaking and listening, but if you want to become truly fluent, you've got to balance all 4 skills. Think of it like building a table with 4 legs. If one leg is weak, the whole table wobbles. The same goes for language learning. If you're great at speaking but can't read or write, your fluency isn't complete. Each skill supports the others. Why all 4 skills matter. When you practice reading, you improve your vocabulary and grammar. When you practice writing, you reinforce sentence structures and spelling. And of course, listening and speaking help you with pronunciation and fluency. By working on all 4, you're giving yourself a well-rounded English foundation. How to practice all 4 skills. Here's a simple plan to incorporate all 4. Listening. Watch English movies, listen to podcasts, or chat with native speakers. Speaking. Practice conversations with a language partner or join an English-speaking group. Reading. Read articles, short stories, or even social media posts in English. Writing. Keep a journal in English. Write blog posts, or even comment on English-speaking forums. By doing a little bit of each every day, you'll improve your overall fluency much faster. Final thoughts. Your journey to fluency starts now. And that's it. Those are the 5, plus a bonus, steps to help you go from 0 to fluent in English. Remember, it's all about taking small steps every day. You don't have to be perfect, and you definitely don't need to learn everything at once. Start with the basics, practice regularly, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how you learn. With the right mindset and these steps in hand, you're already on your way to becoming a fluent English speaker. So what are you waiting for? Start today, and you'll see just how far you can go. Good luck, and happy learning.